There is a certain strength in silence, one that often goes unnoticed. Courage, too, can fade quietly, in ways that we don't always recognize. Life often presents us with moments where we must make difficult decisions, sometimes without uttering a single word. It's in these moments that our true strength is revealed, the moments when we choose to disappear, to leave without explanation, without saying goodbye. But what does it truly mean to leave without words? And what happens to those who are left behind when we choose to disappear? When we make the choice to leave, the first thing those we've left behind feel is an unexpected emptiness. It's a silence that speaks louder than words could ever convey. In the beginning, they may not even realize the full impact our absence will have on their lives. It's not simply the absence of our physical presence, but the loss of emotional support. The lack of the consistent attention and care they had come to rely on. We might not have been the loudest or most overt presence in their lives, but our steadiness, our quiet support, mattered. Now, without us, they begin to realize just how much that presence shaped their world. This emptiness they experience is not easy to fill. It's like a missing piece in a puzzle, small yet essential. It may seem insignificant, but it carries weight. And sometimes, it's the smallest things that leave the deepest marks. The space we leave behind doesn't just echo with our absence, it forces them into a space of reflection. A space where they must pause and consider how they have lived, how they have treated others, and how they've taken things for granted. We rarely appreciate the value of something until it's gone. And when we disappear, that void compels them to confront this truth. In the silence that we leave, they begin to ask themselves questions. Why did they leave? Was I not enough? What was I missing? It's not just the physical absence that they struggle with, it's the emotional vacuum that causes them to reflect on everything they may have taken for granted. But this disappearance, as painful as it may be, teaches an important lesson. It teaches them that healthy relationships are not based on control or dependence. Relationships should not feel like chains. Instead, they should provide room to grow, to breathe, to evolve. And when we choose to step away, we unknowingly show them that true strength doesn't come from holding on to others, but from learning to stand on your own. Relationships should never bind. They should be partnerships that allow both individuals to flourish and grow, individually and together. In the silence of our absence, those we leave behind are forced to confront their own behavior and their own choices. They begin to reflect on how they have treated us, how they interacted with us, and whether they have truly been present in the relationship. They start to ask themselves, did I take them for granted? Was I truly aware of their worth? How did I make them feel? And in this period of introspection, they come to understand that the value of a relationship lies not in possession or control, but in respect, sincerity, and emotional connection. The absence of our presence compels them to reflect on their actions and attitudes, to reconsider the way they engage with the people in their lives. As they sit with the emptiness, they begin to recognize that the value we brought into their lives cannot be easily replaced. It wasn't about the time we spent or the things we did for them, it was the way we made them feel, the sense of security and understanding we offered. They begin to see that true value in a relationship isn't measured by material things, but by the emotional influence we have on others, the inspiration we provide, and the strength we offer. Our presence in their lives gave it meaning, depth, and color, and now, without us, they must come to terms with the fact that such things are not easily replaced. This realization doesn't just make them miss us, it opens their eyes to the importance of introspection. They begin to understand that every relationship, every connection, is a reflection of how they choose to treat others. Our disappearance gives them the gift of reflection, the gift of self-awareness. It makes them question not only how they have treated us, but how they treat others. They realize that the way they engage with the world and the people in it shapes their own experiences. They come to understand that relationships are not about control, about making others feel small or insignificant, but about sharing a space of mutual growth, respect, and support. In the end, as they come to terms with the void we've left behind, they begin to understand that the true value of our presence was never about the tangible things we provided, but about the emotional and intellectual impact we had on their lives. Our absence teaches them that the most important connections are not the ones based on dependency or attachment, but those that allow for growth, understanding, and mutual respect. Through our silence, we've taught them the importance of introspection, of valuing the people in their lives, and of fostering relationships that are not about control, but about genuine connection. And in the silence we leave, they find a deeper understanding of themselves. They recognize that the value of someone in their life is not defined by what they offer, but by the strength, inspiration, and reflection they bring into their world. Our disappearance, though painful, has opened their eyes to the reality that sometimes the most profound lessons come not from what is spoken, but from what is left unsaid. It's in the absence that they begin to truly understand the significance of our presence.